you have an extensive background. Maybe you could give us a little synopsis of everywhere that you've been along your journey to get you to this point.
Oh, absolutely. Literally, I graduated from Illinois State University with a bachelor's degree. I was the head basketball manager for the men's basketball program for 3 years there, and just start. At the time, it was people were starting to realize that wow, you could actually get a career in athletics. And I was thinking, wow, I could kind of do what I'm doing and get paid for it. I'm gonna take advantage of that. But finished up at Illinois State, started working at a newspaper in Bloomington, Illinois, and then got offered the opportunity to become an intern at the Missouri Valley Conference, working in corporate partner sales, really when corporate partnerships were starting up. Started taking on roles there that people really didn't maybe want to do, and tried to make myself indispensable to go from an intern to a full-time position. Was able to get that. Was hired by Doug Elgin, who's still the commissioner of the Missouri Valley and a great friend and mentor of mine. Hired me full-time. Was there until 1999 and was offered the opportunity to help start up the Mountain West Conference when it officially started July 1st. I started April 1st, 1999 in the Mountain West with lead roles of running our men's basketball enterprise, working on our sponsorship endeavors, marketing endeavors, really getting the word out about who the Mountain West is and what we do on a daily basis.
It's not every day that, a position like this opens up. You take us a little bit behind the curtain of the process. What was that like for you, especially given the restrictions right now with COVID-19, travel, the proximity restrictions? What has that journey been like for you?
It's been different in many ways. And my boss, Craig Thompson, commissioner of the Mountain West, came up to me probably in early February and said, "Hey, the Big West commissioner position is open. If you have interest in it, pursue it." But the funny thing was, he told me, go through the process, get the offer, and then turn it down because I don't want to lose you, which made me feel really good, in that respect. But, I sent in my application materials and they started interviewing pretty much in late March. And it was all done via Zoom meetings. I mean, we've all kind of gotten used to doing these type of video conferences. And the initial search committee was made up of student athletes, senior women administrators, faculty representatives, athletic directors, and Dr. Connolly was on each one of the search committee calls. So I went through two of those with that unbelievably experienced group, and then the last interview was just a couple weeks ago with the presidents and chancellors of the universities, talking and engaging and asking great questions at that point. But again, nothing in person. Everything was done via my laptop with background in my basement, doing the interviews. I mean, it feels like in some ways Bill Gates and those guys making their initial computers in their garage. I was interviewing for a commissioner job in my basement. So very unique experience when you're used to doing those type of things in person.
Well, it's like we said, thank God for technology because it enables us to do things like this. Because normally we'd be sitting down in person, but I'll take it.
Absolutely.
You've touched a lot of different areas. You mentioned being a manager. You've worked in athletics. You've technology, marketing. You've touched so many areas. How do you think all that experience is going to help translate into being a successful commissioner for the Big West?
I think one thing it definitely provides, Courtney, it provides me the opportunity to know every area of operation for a conference office. I mean, it's very different than working in an institutional level. At the institutional level, you're really working with the student athletes every day and making sure that they're doing everything they need to do to graduate primarily and have great success on and off the court. In the conference office, you're really working on regular season schedules, on championships, and marketing and promoting your member institutions, and compliance, and legal and finance, and all the things that you do on kind of I hate to say on a regional level. If you look at the institution as a local level, the conference is really regional, and then you go to the national level at the NCAA office. So it's really being a conduit between the institutions and the NCAA, but also being that enforcement mechanism relative to enforcing the rules the membership put forth for the Big West Conference, for sportsmanship, for regular season competition, for hosting championships, all those type of things that you do in a conference office on a day in and day out basis. And I've served in many of those roles. So I know how I want things to be done, but also want to provide the autonomy to the great Big West staff to let them do what they need to do for us to be successful.
I love that. I love that you've touched those areas because it's not just like raining down on high and we're going to do it this way. You understand the day in and day out what it takes to get things done, and then also to listen to other people and take their experience as well. I think that's fantastic.